This video was inspired by one of my viewers' comments on one of my last videos. I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to tell you which video he commented on because it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to hate on you, bro, but I do understand that you're probably a young guy. That's what I got from the nature of your comment after reading it. He said, if you just hold masculine frame and the woman has some sort of integrity, she's not going to leave you. She's not going to cheat on you. All you have to have is masculine frame, and all she has to have is integrity. I can't even talk today. It's too early, right? All she has to have is integrity. Then she's not going to leave. So here's my question to you guys. Do you think women in general, all women, I'm going to include all women in this video, do you think women have integrity when it comes to their man? I'm not talking about their children, because that's also very important. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But briefly speaking, women probably have the most amount of integrity, either A, to their children, or B, to themselves, or C, both at the same level. They give both of those, the children and themselves, the same level of precedence, unless she was raised right. If she was raised right, the children will always, always, always come first before anything else. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. But if she wasn't raised right, she's always going to be at the top of the priority level, just like we see in the Western women. They take the child support money from the daddy, instead of helping the kid out and making sure the kid has a better future with that money, she spends that on herself. But the man always comes after the children and herself. And here's why. Actually, before I jump onto that, let me harp down on this point. Where did this popular theme come from? This masculine frame, hold masculine frame. It came from AMS. Well, let's talk about AMS. Shout out to you, big bro at AMS. You taught me a whole bunch more from when I was in my blue pill days. So no hating, nothing but respect to you, AMS. Obviously, I'm not talking down on AMS in this video either. Love watching that guy. I learned a lot from him. I'm sure you guys have too. What kind of women does AMS date? Black women. Majority, most of the time, right? What demographic of women are they? They are older women. They're not from the age range of 18 to 22. Most likely they're older than that. Sometimes he probably dates 21, 22, 23-year-olds. Who is AMS? He is 6'3", 6'4", makes 250 grand a year, drives a G-Wagon and a Mercedes C-Class or E-Class, I don't remember what it was. He has hundreds of thousands of followers, most likely is in great shape because he's a personal trainer, and he's also probably hung like a horse down there, no homo. And what kind of men do most black women date? They prefer to date other black men. So when his black women are coming into contact with him, who the hell are they going to replace him with? We already know, and this is not something that's racist I'm about to say, but we already know black men don't make that much money in this country, or in general, period. So when she finally comes across a guy who meets her height requirements, her income requirements, her physical shape requirements, and on top of that, him holding a masculine frame requirements, who the hell are these women gonna leave him for? Obviously, he doesn't have any dating problems and keeping his women around. Also, because these women are not from the age range of 18 to 22. So they're not as delusional as those younger chicks who think that they can do better. Younger chicks who look hot, I promise you, if they got with AMS, they're still gonna play games with AMS, and they're still gonna go out there and try to play the field and see what's better out there. And this brings me to my other point, where AMS himself admitted that even AMS's girls date other men. So what integrity are you talking about? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, bro. And again, I'm not ripping you a new one. I understand you're probably a young guy. You haven't developed your understandings yet, your maturity level yet. See, here's the thing. Go back in my channel and go back and watch the earlier videos on my channel. versus the videos I'm making now. Those videos that I make back then were surface level information I gave you guys. Now the videos that I'm making are digging deeper into human psychology. These videos are digging deeper into the mindset of people, and I love making these kind of videos. So a shout out for you, brother, for leaving that comment, because that opened up a lot of points in this video. So even he admitted that his girls are dating other men, are always looking out for the bigger, better deal. They probably won't find it because it's probably really hard to replace somebody like AMS. But you best believe they're out on the look for it. So what does that tell you? That inevitably tells you even his women don't have integrity. And you're going to question AMS's masculine frame? Really? You're going to tell me, oh, AMS probably needs a little bit more masculine frame. The guy who came up with this, you're going to tell me that he needs more masculine frame? So clearly your masculine frame don't mean jack squat. Dude, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything has to line up for your woman not to leave you. Now, does that mean that all women are bad? Does that mean that you should just completely give up hope on marriage and settling down and finding a good family and one day getting married? Not necessarily. But I tell you what, fellas, all the time, is that the number one enemy that we have against men is not women, is the laws. You can say government, whatever, go ahead. It's the laws. So until those laws are changed, there is no leverage whatsoever that we have over women. The only leverage we have is on our own lives. And that's why I always tell you guys to control nothing else but yourself. That's it. And we tell you to manipulate women based on their emotions, but those are still not hardcore bulletproof solutions because the laws are still against us. The woman can still come back and say that, oh, he emotionally manipulated me, and the laws can still bite you in the ass. There's always a risk. A-class celebrities deal with women from the age of 18 to 22, and I promise you they have just as much as headaches. Those women are also playing the field who probably has blue check guys or A-class celebrities in their DMs. Those women are getting flooded with their DMs, and they're still all playing the games, regardless of how much masculine frame they're holding. So what does this tell you? This has nothing to do with integrity. This has nothing to do with, well, I guess this has some stuff to do with her nurturing, how she was raised, how she grew up. Nothing to do with integrity, but everything to do with our deep-rooted human needs, human evolutionary needs. And what do we know about women, evolutionary-wise, is that they're survivalists. So when they see a bigger, better deal, it's not that you're a bad guy. It's not that you're not doing anything right. It's just the fact that that side of their brain, that survivalist side of their brain, that Neanderthal, I can't even say the word. You guys know with me and words, right? Those caveman brain is still there, fellas. This is thousands of years of evolution. You can't just wake up and within a decade or even 60 years turn the switch around and tell women that, oh yeah, you can't be survivalists, you can't be hypergamists anymore. It just doesn't work like that. Let's start driving. So that's why it's still going to trigger that hypergamist side of hers. Now, again, this is not me saying that women are bad. This is just me pointing out women's nature to you guys, just so you're armed with it. That's it. Just so you don't get blindsided by it. Where did this come from? I thought she was a great girl. She just left me for this bigger, better deal that this other guy offered. Of course she did. Oh shit, you can't see me if I turn that off. My seatbelt is going off again. Probably because I have this backpack on my seat. It's probably triggering that sensor off for not buckling it up. Anyways, so fellas, women aren't bad because of this, because they had to be this cutthroat. And ladies, I'm glad you are. I really am, Because without you guys being this cutthroat and eliminating weaker genes, we human race wouldn't be able to survive. And this just triggered a whole bunch of dudes. Oh, he just called us weak. Well, sure I did. If you are, then get strong, motherfucker. Don't complain, get strong. Get better. If women are your motivation to get better, hey, at least you have motivation. Most people don't even have that. At least you got somewhere to start from, right? Like, at least you got something to start for. Eventually, that motivation hopefully will switch over to doing it for yourself. But that's the end game, fellas, is that you have to understand the root cause of things. You can't just label it saying that, oh, if women were just nurtured better, if women just had just had better integrity. No. First of all, a woman has to develop some sort of attachment to you, right? Sure, masculine frame helps, but that is not the only thing that's gonna get you in the attachment level. You have to have more things working for you. The women have to be at the right mindset. See, here's the thing. A lot of pickup artists even will tell you this. Famous, popular pickup artists, good ones, will tell you this, is that a woman has to be seduced. A woman has to be picked up for you to pick her up. A woman has to want to be gained for you to gain her. Just like, it's the same thing with sales. When you go to buy some things, you have to want to buy that for that salesman to sell it to you, to make that sale to you. That's why I said the moon, the sun, the earth, the stars, everything has to line up properly for this woman to get along with your program. It's just not worth it. And that's why my message is to improve yourself, live your life in your own conditions, in your own terms, and stop worrying about getting married, having a kid, and settling down in a society where the laws are so effed up against men. If the laws change, maybe my message will change, maybe. But until then, dude, come on, man. You work this hard in your life and have come this far just to give away most of your stuff to a woman if the marriage doesn't go well. Oh, Zeke, it will go well because I'm going to hold masculine frame. Dude, shut up. Okay? Masculine frame by itself is not going to cut it. It's a huge part of it, sure, I'll give you that. But you need all of it. You need money, status, masculine frame, charisma, everything for a woman to come into your life and more importantly, stay. As I was saying about women's children, is that when they have children, their maternal side kicks in. Just like a bear, mama bear, right? A mama bear isn't as vicious as she is when her cubs are around. It's the same thing with all kinds of creatures in this world, all kinds of animals. When you have offsprings, your maternal and paternal side is gonna kick in to the max to save your family. And that's probably one of the very few cases I'll tell you that, yes, you have a better chance now for your woman not to leave you. Does that mean you go out and start knocking up all these hoes? Absolutely not. Because you still need to pick a good mate, a good mother for your kids. That's still there. Oh yeah. So brother, whoever left that comment, I hope you understand where I'm coming from, okay? Masculine frame and this and that, this is just a band-aid over the wound. This is not curing the wound. This is not curing the disease from its roots. And the root is feminism. The root of the cause of all this debauchery that we're seeing in today's society and this degenerated society that we're seeing is feminism. You holding masculine frame is never going to solve that. Your woman is still and especially in a feminist society, what are your chances of even finding a woman who was raised right, who was nurtured right? That's another question you have to ask yourself. Okay, yeah, let's talk about her having integrity and loyalty because she was raised right. What are your chances of that happening? If you go to eastern side of the world, yes, those women are raised a little bit better, sure. But the aspect of hypergamy still stays, and there's two sides of hypergamy. I'm not just telling you to make more money. That's it. The two sides of hypergamy is what? Say it with me, fellas. Beta bucks and alpha Fs. So you always have to consider the alpha F side of it as well. Always. Yes, women do get triggered by a guy who looks really handsome. Of course. Contrary to popular belief, contrary to what you are brought up getting taught. Alright, I think I've harped this point enough. I think I've beat this dead horse enough. You guys get the idea. Women don't have integrity, any kind of loyalty. Only men do, because we men had to have integrity and loyalty. Otherwise, the human race wouldn't have survived. Why? Because when we went out and hunted that big woolly mammoth with our fellow brothers, we had to be loyal to each other. Otherwise, he would have been killed, and eventually and inevitably, you would have been killed as well. Why? Because if he dies, your pack is weaker. Now, nobody's there to save your ass either. This is all evolution. That's all this is. This is all survival of the race. And at the end of the day, fellas, the reason why children are so much more important when it comes to having integrity, like why the maternal and paternal side kicks in after you have children, and that maternal and paternal side overrides any kind of desire for the most part, is because the number one reason behind marriage and forming a relationship and forming a family is to keep the human race alive and to continue the human race through your offspring, through your children, because that is the number one focus in your relationship, in your marriage, in your family. It's not your happiness, it's not your wife's happiness, it's the children's happiness, it's the children and their future. That is the number one reason and duty behind every single relationship. But we are too peanut-headed our brains are too peanut-headed brains nowadays, to where we're failing to see this, and that's why our kids are turning out to be losers, because our parents did not know any better, and they started having kids just because of the hell of it, instead of actually knowing the reason behind why you should have kids and planning your life accordingly. There is no planning on having kids anymore. But marriage is not about love. It's not about feeling those butterfly feelings. No. It's about duty. It's about responsibility. And most importantly, it's about your kids. Because for a kid and for kids to grow up properly, a marriage and a family where the father and the mother are still together and the father is the leader and the mother is the follower is still the best case scenario for a kid to grow up into. That's it. That is not the best case scenario for the man. That is probably not the best case scenario for the women in this society either, but for the kid. And that's where sacrifices come in from both sides of the parenting. All right. I dragged this one way too long, longer than I wanted to, but I hope you guys get the idea. Follow me on Instagram at Zeekpeak. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.